Jesus Christ! Anyways, I decided to pluck up my courage and review the scariest Black Mirror technologies and phenomena that became, or are about to become, a reality. I'm also going to rank them by the extent of their implementation. Fortunately, not all of them are fully developed, and we've got a chance to keep our future under control. Well, hopefully. Why don't you subscribe to our channel before the technologies we create destroy the world as we know it? And don't forget to tell me whether you agree with my ranking in the comments below. 10th place on the list belongs to the digital doppelgangers of us after death. Let me make myself clear. I'm not talking about the utopian San Junipero here, where you can actually download your consciousness into the perfect virtual world, thus creating immortality. No, I'm talking about fake replicas from the episode Be Right Back. Think of all the modern AI chatbots that can actually learn communication styles and patterns from the humans they communicate with. There are no human-like androids that look, move, or talk smoothly enough for us to mistake them as human. At least not yet. But chatbots that are able to imitate your style and your views are already not uncommon. Social media gathers information about us with our every click. Heck, they might know more about you than your own parents do. I think the average person's social media probably possesses more than enough information to create a digital replica of them once they die. And though Android doppelgangers are nowhere to be seen yet, it might just be a matter of time before grieving people try to console themselves with replicas of their loved ones once they're gone.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! You're not enough of him! You are nothing! You're nothing!
Place number 9 is taken by electronic insect swarms. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against normal bees. Well, except for that one bee that stung me in the summer of 2001, that guy was a dick. But I forgive it now, after I saw the Hated in the Nation episode. At least it didn't try to ram itself in my nostril and fry my brain. Hated in the Nation might have gotten on haters' nerves all around the world. It should have been especially frightening for those who wish death upon others via social media. Though haters and trolls are a widespread phenomenon nowadays, electronic swarms of creatures are only in the process of development. The problem with a lack of pollinators isn't exactly imaginary. That's a real issue to be solved by technology. And a team of Harvard researchers is currently working on a project called Robo-Bees. It's going to take them around a decade to get their electronic bees to fly autonomously from one flower to another. But these little mechanical insects are already able to fly and swim. SWIM. What the f***? Which means that neither I nor you will be able to hide in the water from them if they get hacked. Another reason not to be mean to anyone online. On to the next one. Dehumanization of the enemy got the 8th spot on my list. I know what you're thinking. So far, there's nothing similar to mass implants from the episode Men Against Fire. That's why it's so low on the list. Governments so far may only dream about neural implants installed into their soldiers. War is an art of extermination. No matter whether you're an attacker or a defender, in any case, the winner must be more efficient than the enemy, and there is no better way to boost efficiency than eliminate the so-called human error, which in case of war could be caused by something very useful and common in conditions of peace: empathy, sympathy, and remorse. It's hard to kill another human being, unless you don't consider him or her to be one. Whether the enemy gets dehumanized with the help of neural implants or propaganda. Propaganda may be the only modern technology used to make soldiers believe that their enemies are not human enough, but progress might offer us some more tools to achieve this goal very soon. Spot number 7 goes to a phenomenon which I call archangeling the kids. If you watched the Archangel episode of Black Mirror, you know exactly what I mean. So far, parents aren't able to control their children's every movement and experience, though some of them try very hard to do so. Let's be honest, given the chance to install a microchip into their child's brain to control his or her actions and blur out everything they find to be inappropriate, many helicopter parents would grab onto this opportunity without any second thoughts or ethical concerns. After all, it's for the child's safety, right? That's why parents turn on parental control, monitor their children's pages on social media, track their phones, and even justify reading their messages. Of course, it's not because parents cannot cope with their own anxiety. It's for the good of the children. But the harder you push someone's boundaries, the fiercer their rebellion. And not just that, if one never makes mistakes, how will he or she get on with life when their parents aren't there to take care of everything? Place number 6 goes to the phenomenon from the White Bear episode. Fortunately, I'm not speaking about amusement parks where criminals get mentally and physically tortured. Brief reality check. Back in 2013, a British Army soldier named Lee Rigby got killed by 2 men in broad daylight in southeast London. The murder was political, however, It's mostly known for being the first UK murder to be broadcast live via social media. It's been a long-standing ethical dilemma for journalists too, whether they should stand by and report or get involved. Now every bystander can become a small source of news these days. And it's terrifying how easy it is for people to get used to waving off responsibility, to shield themselves from reality with their smartphones. As if you film something gruesome and watch it on the screen, you separate yourself from the events in front of the camera. The main heroine of the episode might have committed a horrible crime, but the people feeding on her torture and live streaming it? Ugh. Way too familiar phenomenon if you ask me. Let's get on to the next point on the list before I completely lose my faith in humanity. Blocking people. One of many phenomenons from the White Christmas episode. Maybe we cannot simply block people from our view in the real world, but we can block them online. And in terms of the modern world, it can work just as efficiently. Block someone on all your social media, and it will be extremely hard for them to reach you, especially if you don't live very close to each other. And while sometimes blocking is the only way to get rid of stalkers and abusers, I find the idea of being completely wiped from someone's sight chilling. What if you get blocked by mistake and don't have an opportunity to let the other person know about it? So far we can call or meet and talk in person to explain ourselves, and it would be horrible to live in a world where people can simply turn off your voice and image on any occasion. And besides, think of opportunities for bullies. They can literally boycott their victims, leaving them in complete isolation. Moving on to fourth place. Remember the 15 million merits episode where people had to pedal the stationary bicycles to power up screens on the walls of their cubicles and obtain so-called merits? Well, it has a pretty accurate and twisted implementation in our reality. In Brazil, prisoners can choose to power energy production units the same way characters from 15 million merits did, and to get closer to their freedom. Every 24 hours of pedaling cuts their sentence down by 1 day. Yeah, I get what you might be thinking. Isn't that a positive phenomenon? Prisoners at least get some tiny control of their lives while being useful to the nearby communities and blah blah blah. But think how the reward is for their efforts, and how insignificant the impact is of their attempts to get closer to freedom. You cannot pedal for 24 hours straight anyway. There is also a limited number of bicycles. Isn't there hope to get freed earlier? Just as delusional as the dreams of the characters from 15 million merits about their lucky ticket to the talent show? Think about it. Okay, that's enough. I do apologize, but this killer robot dog takes the third spot on my list. Thank you, Boston Dynamics, for bringing my nightmares to life. You know, the creators of this seemingly innocent dog actually taught it how to open doors no matter what. They also kicked it to the floor to teach it to get back on its metal paws. Well, at least I won't be the first person that gets killed in the robot dog massacre if they ever rebel against humanity. And second place on my list goes to the human rating system from the episode Nosedive. Or should I say, the social credit system, which China intends to implement fully by the year 2020. That's a reputation system created to evaluate the economic and social reputation of both citizens and businesses. Even though it's still hard to understand whether it'll be a unified system and the extent to which it will influence the everyday life of the Chinese. Some people feel the pressure already. They are not allowed to travel, their children cannot get into the private schools, and by 2020, the number of penalties will be broader, including exclusion from hotels, high prestigious work, and slower internet connection, which I find the most excruciating punishment among them all. It sounds like Nosedive at its worst. Before I reveal the terrifying reality, number 1, here comes the bonus section. Coach from the Hang the DJ episode looks much like the dictatorial version of Tinder, and the instantly filmed personal memories from the entire history of you are much like Instagram stories. Are you ready for the most terrifying and real phenomenon from Black Mirror? Well, for me it's hacking and further blackmailing from the episode Shut Up and Dance. Yeah, I can hear your disappointment from behind the screen. In comparison to some other stuff on the list, hacking and blackmailing might seem lame. But you know, we've still got some time before the robot dogs stop dancing and start slaying. And stuff like the reputation system doesn't happen overnight. You will still have some time to prepare for it or flee from the country that intends to implement such a system. Privacy breaches and further blackmailing though, that can happen to anyone. In fact, it's happening to you right now. And you don't need to be a criminal really. It's enough to just have some home videos stored on your hard drive, or your personal financial information, or any information you'd prefer to keep a secret. I wonder what you would do to prevent some of your secrets from getting out. maybe robbing a bank wouldn't be the worst thing you can go for, eh? Did you like this ranking? Then give a thumbs up, or Corey out.
Awesome.